It's the Andy and Dave Daily right here on the Muskegon Channel. Andy O'Reilly, Dave Cackley is there, and I got to tell you what.
Yes.
If somebody would have taken a stick to me and beat me all day yesterday, I don't think I'd feel worse.
Really?
Oh,
you don't
my
even
God.
drink anymore. How is that possible?
Well, the cottage up there in Twin Lake, right?
Yeah.
So we're up there, and we got this bad moss problem on the ground because there's no sunshine getting through to the grass to keep the grass growing.
Yeah.
So we say, all right, let's get rid of a couple of these nice trees. So we did. They were about, I would guess, 8 to 10 inches in circumference around the base. Mm-hmm. So they weren't really little trees, but they weren't like big giant trees.
And so you weren't displacing any birds?
No, nothing like that, no. Yeah. I mean, they were probably 30 to 40 feet tall. And I got in there and got after them and dropped them with a chainsaw. And, when you look at a tree and you think to yourself, this is going to be a piece of cake to get this little thing taken care of, that changes quick when you get it down on the ground. And you have to, literally, we spent 4.5 hours yesterday cutting these trees up with chainsaws and the big, the branch chopper upper thingy that we got. And, dude, every inch of me hurts. I had a hard time lifting a can of pop last night.
Hey, do you want to revisit what happened and your accusatory remarks towards me last Friday after you came by the station here, you came by ZZM to do your little thing on My West Michigan.
Okay.
And you accused me of destroying the bathroom.
No, we're not going to bring that up. I literally cannot do that again. What? I can't even relive the thought. How I could flush something 8 times and not get whatever was left in that bowl to go down. 8 flushes to try and get this thing gone, and there it sat. I literally almost barfed.
Nobody uses that for number 2.
Somebody did. It wasn't me.
Here's the thing: there are 2 bathrooms here that are isolated. One way down on the hall, down the hall by the engineer's office,
okay.
And then there's another one, kind of like a secret one. That's fairly secluded and no one's going to bother you. And if you got stuff to take care of, it's not going to really affect anybody else. You don't use the ones right off the studio for that type of thing.
I have no idea what went on, but you know what? I come into TV 13, and you got to keep in mind a couple of different factors. All right, 1, I've probably had a pot of coffee.
Yes.
Okay. 2, I've had a blood pressure pill.
Okay.
And 3, I'm not as young as I used to be. So when I make the run from Muskegon to Alpine, It's time to pee.
Right.
And I've literally thought about the parking lot in the past. It's like, will anybody notice? Are all their cameras out here for the Secret Santa thing that they do every year? But I literally was just. I've seen destruction in bathrooms. That one had to be the winner.
Well, you had to know it wasn't me because I was not. I would not use a bathroom.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't accuse you of anything. I simply asked if you knew anything about it.
Your text sounded accusatory.
Well, that's because you have a guilty conscience.
All right.
And 9 times out of 10, you are guilty of something.
Fine.
Would you like me to give you a good case in point?
Go ahead.
Yeah. How about the time I caught you stealing vitamins that you could take for free anyway out of the studio?
That wasn't stealing vitamins. I thought they were complimentary vitamins. I wasn't stealing any.
You were putting them in your pocket.
Yeah, I put them in my pocket. Yeah, because for later.
This is where the guilty conscience comes
That's got nothing. That's not stealing.
You do these weaselly things and think people are going to forget.
That's not weaselly. Come on. Good Lord.
Ooh, look, free vitamins. I'm going to take a pocket full.
You talked about your weekend. You didn't even bother to ask me about mine. You say, "Hey, Dave, how was your weekend?"
Because I'm very self-centered this morning, and I'll tell you why. Because every inch of me hurts.
Okay.
From the tips of my toes to the top of my head, I am in agonizing pain.
So do you want me to just get through this so you can take your relaxing bubble bath and lay down, maybe with a wet towel?
I got a day's work to do. I don't go home and take naps.
I didn't know. I didn't know if you needed to recoup.
Go home and have a nice meatloaf sandwich from Mom, and then you crawl into bed for a couple of hours. I get it. That's cool. Why don't you do some news, and I'll see if I feel better by the time you're done.
Okay, fine.
All right, good.
All right, Japan has vowed to take action with the United States against North Korea after Pyongyang's latest missile test over the weekend. The missile flew for 6 minutes before landing in the Sea of Japan just after 5:30 a.m. Monday. Japan's prime minister said, quote, working with the United States, we will take specific action against North Korea. Russia and China also condemned the test. Of course, not saying what the specific action is. Probably not going to be anything. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to comment. Or
No, I was waiting for your next riveting story.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought this is usually where you do your Andy O'Reilly.
You know what, I could chime in and say a little something about the fact that I'm glad somebody is willing to work with us still. The European Union's kind of like, the U.S. is a little off its rocker at this point. Let's just pull back.
And we're still the best game in town.
Okay.
Twitter is coming under fire from some critics accusing the company of emotional trauma by assuming people's gender. Twitter, like many tech companies, develops individualized profiles to help ads better fit the interest of individual users. The profiles include guesses about the user's age, language, and gender. Twitter has included an add your gender option in addition to male and female. Apparently that's not enough, as some are saying the company is, quote, sci-sexist or C-sexist. I'm not even sure what the hell that means, but they're engaging in egregious rhetorical violence by misgendering individuals.
You lost your place. I had to ding you.
Well, I was confused by sci-sexist or C-sexist or some type of sexist that I did. If I can't use the word in Scrabble, to me, it's not a word.
Of course.
So I don't know.
Yeah, that's because that's what Twitter. Does Twitter do anything for you?
I like Twitter. I like that everything's down to 150 characters.
No.
I wish life was like that. People could only say like 150 words, and that's it. Otherwise, they just go on and on and on and drone on and on and on, kind of like I'm doing right now.
Right. Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very pro Twitter that way.
I'm not. I think
Condense
Twitter's a drag.
everything.
And you know what I think is even worse than Twitter?
What?
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, I haven't even checked my profile literally in a decade.
Oh my God, LinkedIn is like a stare down between middle managers. And then here's the other thing I want to talk about social media too.
Okay.
Please don't define yourself as a dreamscape evolver. You ever see some of these titles that people come up with on Twitter and LinkedIn and all? It's like,
yep.
You're what?
Online therapist.
You know what I put? You know what my online profile is right now?
What?
And tell me if it's not right. Not a perfect one. Are you ready for this? I have to think about it for a second. Purveyor of verbal novelties.
That's fairly apropos.
And I mean, it's short, it's to the point, and every now and again I'll throw something out there for a laugh. But to say that I'm a ultimate in dream chasers and shut up.
See, that's to me why Twitter you should like it then, because it kind of takes all that out.
No, it doesn't. It
makes you
condense
profile,
Like,
everything.
hey, such and such wants to be your friend on Twitter. He's an architect of goodwill. Really? Wow, good for you, pal.
So you don't like Twitter, assuming that you would want to follow this person or that.
I don't like
person
Twitter because I think it's just not that big of a deal around here. I want to stay in touch with people around town. Twitter. Ugh.
Okay, we'll agree to this. I like Twitter. You're anti-Twitter. That's fine.
Well, as we found out last Friday too, you hate folk singers, so I guess we're even.
I don't hate folk singers. I just don't think they have any reason running for a government office.
I could see you outside a Joni Mitchell concert right now, just trying to raise hell.
Joni Mitchell, really?
Yeah,
Joni Mitchell.
That's what I could see.
I don't think. James Taylor, maybe. Police in Grand Rapids are searching for suspects in the fifth shooting in the city in just the last 3 days. Latest victim was wounded in the leg on Hamilton Avenue near Leonard Street just before 11:30 a.m. on Monday. 17-year-old was also shot in the leg in the 700 block of 6th Street Saturday night. 3 others suffered non-life-threatening gunshot wounds over the weekend. So far, no arrests have been made, and they don't know if any of the shootings were connected. So.
West Side, man, gotta watch that. You can't have that going on the West Side. No way.
It's shooting season on the West Side of GR right now.
Not what you want.
Be careful out there. Hundreds of residents flooded the downtown area Monday morning to honor and remember American sacrifices during the Muskegon Memorial Day Parade. Veterans of various wars participated along with several marching bands, vintage cars, and local law enforcement. 70-year-old veteran Gary White, who served more than 2 decades in the Air Force and was stationed in Thailand during the Vietnam War, said, quote, "We should never forget what our veterans are doing to protect this country."
No, we shouldn't.
Very cool.
Very cool.
And-
Nice pictures,
and-
too. I saw some good pictures of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nice turnout.
Nice. Always makes you feel more patriotic. In sports, it was the Tigers coming back from 5 runs down to beat the Royals 10-7. Cubs lose, Cubs lose, Cubs lose. San Diego wins 5-2. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals goes to Pittsburgh. They top Nashville 5-3. That's sports.
So you got the Tiger score there, right?
Yep.
And Cindy wakes up on the couch last night. We're watching the Tigers game. She goes, wait, what's the score? I said, whatever it was, and the Tigers had 6 runs. Mm-hmm. She made a note in her phone to stop and get her 6 free nuggets today. She's been doing this the whole season. Every time the Tigers score 6 runs or more, McDonald's is giving out free nuggets. She stops, gets them, throws them in the freezer, and plans on feeding them to the kids later.
That is fantastic.
Save a buck, man,
Economically
whatever
minded.
it takes, right?
Absolutely.
Hey, go enjoy your Tuesday.
Yeah.